What's up, guys? My name is Austin Schneider and I am pumped you're here for the client getting system. Look, we've helped over 500 coaches and agencies with this exact system, generating over $7 million in revenue for them. And I'm not saying that to brag, I'm saying it because I want you to know that this stuff actually works. This course is all about one thing: getting clients consistently without stress, without hustle, and without uncertainty that's probably driving you crazy right now. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Those days when you're staring at your phone, wondering if anyone's going to respond to your DMs, or checking your calendar, hoping a referral comes through, or posting content and praying somehow that it goes viral. Look, one of our clients, Vic Anthony, was in the exact same spot. He was doing all of the right things, but couldn't predict his client flow. And after implementing the system that you're about to learn today, he was able to secure a $6,000 client in a month and build a $40,000 pipeline. Not because he worked harder, it's because he worked smarter with the right system. So if you are tired of riding the client acquisition roller coaster, you're in the exact right place. This is about creating predictable, consistent lead flow so you can finally scale your business with confidence. Let's be real for a second. How many cold DMs did you send last week that got completely ignored? It's frustrating. You craft what you think is a perfect message, you hit send, and crickets, or worse, you get thanks but not interested. And referrals, sure, they're great when they happen, but can you actually build a business when they happen? Can you confidently hire somebody based off of maybe we'll get a referral this month? I was talking to Nick Hurst before he started working with us, and he told me that he's posting content 5 days a week, hoping something would go viral and bring in clients. He was really exhausted from just creating content that got likes but no leads. And after implementing our system, he was able to close a $2,000 a month retainer and a $5,000 retainer in weeks of leads that came to him. Look, here's what I see happening with most coaches and agencies. Monday, you send out a bunch of cold DMs that mostly get ignored. Tuesday, you check in with past clients, hoping for referrals. Wednesday, you post content that gets some engagement but no increase. Thursday, you start getting anxious because no new leads have come in. And Friday, you slash your prices just to close something, anything to keep cash flowing. Look, it is a terrible way to run a business, and it's certainly no way to scale. Michael Evans was also stuck in a similar cycle. He was doing good work but couldn't predict when new clients would come in. And after implementing the client acquisition system, he was able to close 7 3-month retainers. And look, the worst part about not having a system is uncertainty. How can you hire when you don't know if you'll have revenue to pay for somebody next month? How can you invest in your business when cash flow is unpredictable? How can you ever step away when you're constantly in client acquisition mode? It's exhausting, it's stressful, and it's completely unnecessary. Look, I get it, and I can say all this because I've been there. Seriously, when I first started my agency, I thought I was the freaking king of cold outreach. I would spend hours crafting personalized messages, hear thanks but no thanks over and over again, and really it felt soul crushing. Then I'd get a referral and think, this is it, referrals are the way to go. So I'd ask all my clients for referrals, maybe get one or two, then nothing, because the well would dry up. Then I'd pivot to content. I just need to go viral. I just need to post. I would get likes, but maybe just a few clients. It was this cycle of trying different things, seeing small results, getting excited, then watching it fizzle out. And the whole time I couldn't confidently grow my team because I had no idea if I could actually sustain the payroll. The turning point for me was when I realized something. The most successful agencies and coaches weren't relying on any one method of client acquisition. They had a system, a predictable, repeatable process for generating qualified leads consistently. So I started building that system. I tested different approaches, refined what worked, and eliminated what didn't, and developed a framework that didn't just bring in any leads, it brought in qualified leads who were ready to buy. And it changed everything for us. I went from wondering where my next client would come from to having a pipeline full of qualified prospects that now signs up 30 to 40 new high-paying clients every single month. And look, this is never about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about building a system that does the heavy lifting of client acquisition for me. And that's exactly what I'm gonna show you how to do in this course. So what is the solution to all of this madness? Well, the client getting system is a complete framework for creating a client acquisition machine that runs without your constant involvement. And I'm genuinely excited to share with you because I've seen how transformative it can be for a business. At the heart of the system is what we call the authority funnel, and it is a game changer. Unlike traditional lead gen methods that require hustle, the authority funnel is designed to attract clients to you. It's about pulling, not pushing. It's the same thing we did for Dontel, who implemented this exact system and achieved a $10,000 client within 30 days. He was able to hire, he was able to establish systems and reduce his personal workload while scaling his business because he knew where the next deal was coming from. The beauty of his system is that it eliminates the need for constant outreach and really just hustle. You're not chasing clients, they're coming to you. You're not competing on price, you're competing on value. You're not hoping for referrals, you're systematically generating leads, and the financial impact can be transformative for you guys. Imagine knowing how many qualified leads you'll you'll generate each week. Imagine being able to predict your revenue months in advance. Imagine being able to scale your client acquisition efforts proportionally to your growth goals. That's the power of having a systemized approach to your client acquisition efforts. And the proof is in the results for our clients. Andrew was able to scale his YouTube agency to over $200,000 a month. Dontel is now at over $50,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue. Gabrielle went from $5,000 a month to over $30,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue for us. Todd spent $140 using this client acquisition system and was able to generate $24,000 in new revenue. Dimitri, another great example, he generated $30,000 in monthly revenue from one single ad after implementing this exact system. That's over $100,000 in contracts while spending just $2,500 on ads. And look, these are not outliers or lucky breaks. These are predictable results of implementing a systematic approach to client acquisition. And the best part is these agencies aren't working harder to get clients. They're working smarter. They built this system that you're about to learn today that positions them as value experts and allows them to charge premium prices. Now, I want to be straight with you. This course isn't about passive consumption. It's about active implementation of a proven system. The information alone won't transform your client flow. It's the application of these systems that will create results for you. I strongly encourage you to engage fully with each step of the way that we're going to go through. Take notes, complete the exercise, and most importantly, implement what you learn immediately. Don't wait till you've gone through the entire course to start taking action. Each component contains standalone client strategies that you can implement with me. And listen, I get it. Implementing all this stuff takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And if you're watching this and you want to just shortcut your process and have us install the system for you, just click the link below at any time and we will be able to jump on a call and see if this is a fit for you. But the sooner you implement, guys, the sooner you'll see results. Every day you wait, you are leaving money on the table and potential clients on the table. So do not let it pass you by. Stop hustling your way through getting clients and do it the right way. All right, here's how to get the most out of the course. First, again, watch every module. They build on each other. Do it in order. Don't skip around because they build in order. Second, implement as you go. After each section, apply what you've learned. Third, use the resources provided. You're going to have a ton of resources for you guys throughout this course. Use them. Don't reinvent the wheel. Follow the system. Track your results. Notice what's working in your process and notice what's not working in your process. Okay, data is going to be your best friend. And as for what to expect, if you're able to launch this literally today, you should see leads as soon as a couple of days from now. So let's get started on the client getting system course. All right, so before we jump into this teaching, I just want to give you a quick overview of what this client getting system even is and just give you a bird's eye view of what you can expect what we're going to be basically doing throughout this course. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you a quick little overview of how it works and hopefully inspire you to continue to actually watch this video in full and take massive action. And as part of that, I'm going to share a couple of wins of people recently. Like I literally just spent 5 minutes going through our wins and share a couple of people in your shoes, probably because you're watching this and you want clients probably feeling exactly how you were feeling before they launched this client getting system to now. First things first, this client, she spent $400 in ads and got a $1,200 PIF from that spend. So meaning for every $1 she spends, she's expecting to earn $3 back. So if she spends $1,000, she should expect to get $3,000 back. Another one, I called my mom crying, just closed a $19,000 pay in full deal for 6 months. These first few weeks in the program have been life-changing. So incredibly grateful to be here. It can be life-changing for you if you guys execute. That's what I want you guys to hear right now is I want you to feel inspired to execute. Currently at $19 a message with a total of $130 spent. Got a $2,000 one-time project as well as a $2,000 a month contract in the pipeline. $19 a lead, $130 spent, already made $2,000 and already has a $2,000 month in the pipeline. I've been holding off on posting wins here because I want to credit them directly to Agency U. Here's what's come through so far. $12,000 deal, $36,000 deal. Total ad spend, $1,978. Total return on ad spend, 24.2. I spend $1. I make $24. No brainer. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do next. If spending $2,000 in 30 days, it got me $48,000. They're going to spend more because a 3-month retainer, $7,000 PIF. $1,250 for 3 months retainer for ads. Only $50 in ad spend. Not bad. Just closed $7,500 retainer. We used the B-roll ad and got 9 leads, 1 close, 8 in pipeline, and ROAS is 26.07. We closed 2 contracts with a total value of $32,500. I spent $2,400 on ads and I've closed $24,000 from it. Spent a total of $4,000 on ads and I've made $18,450. This doesn't even account for lifetime value, which is for us 12 months. Guys and girls, watching this. This should inspire you to take massive action through this course. Okay, I'm going to be revealing everything on how to do this. I say all this to inspire you to take action, that this isn't some fluff. This is actual proof of people in your shoes seeing results that you can also expect to see. So let me give you a quick overview of what this client acquisition system is, client getting system is. So basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to run a DM ad. This is going to be like a B-roll ad essentially. So what we're going to walk through is how to actually build this, all that good stuff. And then when we launch the ad, we're going to direct people to Instagram DMs. So we're not going to, have people fill out a complex form, fill out some like crazy funnel, expect people to watch a 30-minute training and cross our fingers hoping that they'll do it. We are driving them directly to our Instagram DMs to have a conversation with them. And the benefit of this is it's so frictionless. I mean, all they really need to do is click a button and they will automatically be DMing you, assuming that the ad creative, which we're going to go over, is speaking to their pain points. Then what we do is we have a conversation in the DMs, and then we simply set an appointment in the DMs. So again, we're not chasing them down. We're not having to pick up the phone. We're not having to email back and forth. We're literally just DMing back and forth with them. And the reason I really like this method of getting clients is, one, I can qualify them. Like I can see if this person is actually legit. If you've ever run like a lead form ad, or if you've ever done any other mechanism of getting clients, maybe from paid, maybe from not, you know the pain of dealing with unqualified people. With this, I can literally look at their business. I can see their profile. I can check them out, see if they're actually legit, and know if this is actually worth spending my time. And on the flip side, they can do the same to us. So we can have a conversation with them. We want to make sure our profile is legit and all that good stuff. But that's an overview of the client getting system that we're going to review today. Hopefully you leave this just quick overview feeling inspired, feeling like, okay, wow, I see it, Austin. I see how this can actually work. And I'm going to actually watch this video and implement it with you, because at the end of this course, there should be no reason that you should be able to get your ads launched, and no reason that you shouldn't start getting leads as soon as tomorrow if we're able to launch it together on this course. So that's the whole system. Let's get into it and let's have some fun, and let's just get these up. Stay inspired and stay at it, because this could literally be life-changing for you. First thing that we need to do before we even begin to think about launching ads is to make sure our offer is great. And before you say, oh guys, my offer is so good, I don't need anything, watch this video. This may rework it. This may rethink how you wire everything, because we're going to do an exercise about offer. And before you say or think to yourself, oh, my offer is so good, I don't need to be watching this video, you're probably the person that needs to be watching this video. So let's get into it, and let's just overview quickly, what most people do with the offer and why a lot of them are stuck. So what most people do, they believe that getting clients comes down to doing more oftentimes, more content for them, more deliverables for the clients. And they chase every opportunity as a result, and they customize anything, and they think that being flexible for the clients leads them to being more appealing. I see so many offers, we help with anything that you need. And I was that guy too. I used to be the guy that basically would say yes to everything. If you need me to, do videos, SEO, website, run ads, consult, whatever it could be, I would do it because I just wanted a freaking paycheck. But the problem with that is they're basically an order taker. Like they're basically setting themselves up to be an employee. And I mean, at one point in my business, I felt like an employee of 5 different clients, and that's a problem. So the main things though is they have reactive offers. Okay. They don't lead with offers. They respond. So whatever the client says that they want, they just say, oh yeah, sure. I can do that. I can do that. Yeah, sure. The reality is that clients don't care about flexibility. They buy the frameworks. They're buying your IP. They're buying your knowledge. They're buying your skill sets. Okay, we just need to productize that. A lot of people also sell deliverables, not outcomes. This is huge. Agencies promise posts, campaigns, sessions, access, but deliverables do not connect to a real client's desire, which is growth, freedom, revenue, clarity. When your offer doesn't tie to an outcome, you become a cost to the client, an expense to the client, not an investment to them. We need to make sure we have an outcome-driven offer, because otherwise we'll just be stuck in deliverables. Okay, they're stuck in complexity, something we see a lot. They think the more that we do for the clients, the more value that we can actually do. So we layer in, more videos, more time, full service, doing this. And to prospects, the complexity is going to feel like confusion, which is going to kill your sales. And the next thing is they don't have a unique mechanism. Okay, they sound like everybody else. We help businesses get more client. We don't buy the best offer. We buy the one that we understand first. And then lastly, there's really no repeatable system, which is huge. Every new client feels like you're starting from scratch because there's no process, because every project depends on you. Okay, so we just need to shift some beliefs here from offer. And we're going to go through an exercise that I want you to do with me that will be really, really helpful. A lot of people used to think, oh, I need more offers to get clients. No, we need one offer that converts. Oh, clients want more options. They just want to see what we can offer them. Clients want one clear outcome. Oh, I have to customize everything because every client is different. You need a system that they can plug into. Oh, my prices scare people away. My confidence in my ability to get them to an outcome attracts the right clients. Marketing is hard. Marketing is hard if your offer sucks. Marketing is easy when your offer is clear. So what do we need to do? We need to build a scalable outcome driven. So I think about offer, what we really need to do is we need to get our clients to basically where they are to where they want to go. Okay, that's pretty much what it is. So first things first, that's scalability. First things first, who am I helping? Like what painful expense are they stuck in? What measurable, exciting outcome is it that they actually want? So we can stop selling services and we can start selling outcomes. This is super, super important. Our offer should really just bridge the gap of where they are to where they want to go. So instead of, oh, we help you with social media, we help agencies add $20,000 a month in retainers using our predictable pipeline method. We help coaches fill their calendar with qualified calls in 14 days and use our content conversion framework. We want to make it outcome driven. They don't care about the how, they care about the outcome. Simplify to amplify. Simpler your offer is, the easier it is to deliver and scale. Next is productize the transformation. So we're going to hit on this a little bit, not too much because this isn't like a offer video, but for the most part, we want to make sure that our offer can actually get them from where they are to where they want to go. And that means we're not doing 20 different things, 20 different ways to get our clients from where they are to where they want to go. We're literally just coming up with the best way possible in our skill set with what we know that's going to benefit the client as much as possible, because you see all these claims on the internet, unfortunately, where people are promoting the world. You're going to get you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. You're going to get 100 calls in 30 days or I'll tattoo your logo, whatever. The problem with that is a lot of people's product sucks. Okay. So that's why we really also focus on productizing the transformation, which we're not going to hit on too much today, but is important for you guys to know that we need to make sure our product lives up to the actual marketing. We want to anchor everything in ROI and certainty. So we need to stop selling time. We need to start selling the transformation that these clients get. Instead of, oh, you're going to get 8 coaching calls, we'll help you close your next 5 high ticket clients. Instead of, oh, we'll do social media management, we'll help you get 30 book calls this quarter. You're not selling work, you're selling wins for the client. Okay. I need to emphasize that. Unique mechanism, which we'll hit on in a second, and then time frame for results. How quickly can they expect to see results? So now let's do the exercise together. So this is something that we do with our members. It's called an offer breakdown. And we're going to go through most of these things, specifically what's going to be important when it comes to marketing. So let's just start with target audience. First things first, when we're talking about target audience, a lot of people think, oh, I need to work with, or I need to talk to people who, plumbers whose favorite food is pizza. They drive a blue car. They're in this zip code. And that's my ideal customer. If I don't talk to that specific person, then I'm going to be, my message isn't going to stick. In some ways, that's right. But our philosophy is for target audience, at least for the sake of this, we're just going to start a little bit broad because we want our biggest total addressable market to be as big as possible. And then with a total addressable market being as big as possible, what does that mean? That means we have more people that we can speak to and more people that could potentially raise their hand. In the marketing, obviously, what we're going to be promoting and hitting on really hard is going to be the pain points and the desired outcomes. So for target audience, I'm going to leave this pretty broad. I'm just going to say service-based businesses in San Diego. Why not just localize it a little bit? I don't even need to do that, but I'll just do that. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about the pain points and implications. So the pain points is what we're actually going to be promoting often in our ads and what these clients actually want and how we can really work our offer to be outcome driven and marketable. So let's just do this drawing real quick. Target audience, pain, and outcome. When we talk about pain points, a lot of people are like, oh, they just don't have time, or oh, they just want clients. Like what we really want to do on the pain points is we want to have the people that we're writing these pain points for feel it in their soul. We want to speak their language because the more that we can understand their pain points, the more it tees us up to solve them. And the more they see our ad, they see our messaging, and they think to themselves, wow, you're speaking directly to me, which is going to increase the trust and also set you up for success when it comes to actually delivering for this client. So easy way to come up with pain points that I like to do is I'm just going to go ahead and go to ChatGPT. I'm going to paste this prompt here. I help service-based businesses in San Diego achieve desired outcome. Okay, so more clients and becoming more known with, I'm just going to say, meta ads and content and social posting in 7 days. What are the top 5 pain points of my target customer? Deals with speak their language, make them polarized, and also provide implications, make them 2 sentences per point. I'm also going to say make them financially driven, make them hurt, make them really speak to my ideal customer and the pain they're feeling. Okay, let's see what these come up with. And the thing with this is like ChatGPT will help, but we need to rework these. Make it more about client acquisition, lack of predictability, and not having a system to get new clients, relying on outdated methods, etc. So we want to rework this a little bit, okay? Because we really, really want to speak to our ideal customer and we want to make these polarizing. Good enough. So let's take these. And then what we're going to do is we're going to paste these in our offer breakdown. So I'm also going to paste these here just for visual, just so I can show you. So now that we have the pain of our customers, guess what? It becomes really easy for us because all we really need to do is we need to figure out, okay, how do we get our clients from where they are to where they want to go? So let's figure out where they want to go. So now in the same prompt, I just need to say, what are the desired outcomes they want? Make it specific to my offer, ability, etc. Cool. I like these. So we can go ahead and paste these here. Very good. So now we have the pain. Now we have the outcome. Now all we really need to do, let me also paste these into our offer breakdown because we're going to use this later on. Now all we need to do is we need to figure out from an offer perspective, how do we get them from where they are to where they want to go? And this becomes our productized offer because then we can just begin to start productizing our services. Oh, we're going to do an onboarding call and then we're going to create ads. Then we're going to launch on day 7. Then we're going to create a CRM and Notion for them. Then we're going to track daily. Then we're going to give them appointment setting flow. Then we're going to automate the messaging using AI. Then we're going to create 3 months of content in one day. Then we're going to edit 8 videos a month. Then we're going to post 8 videos. Then we're going to monthly strategy call, et cetera, et cetera. So we just need to figure out what is everything in our power that we can do to get them from where they are to where they want to go. That validates our offer. That makes sure, okay, cool, this is in fact dialed. So I'm just going to say, here's my steps to get my clients from where they are to where they want to go. Can you clean this up? Sweet. I'm just going to go ahead and post that in here because we're going to use this as well. I'm jamming through this really, really quickly just because this isn't an offer course. This is more about this, but this is a really, really good exercise for you guys to do because we're going to also use this for a lot of our ad stuff that you're going to see going forward. So 7 days and then unique mechanism. So basically unique mechanism is meant to pique curiosity. So let's just see. Target audience, pain points, desired outcomes, steps, desired outcomes, which is perfect. And then time frame to results. Unique mechanism. Let's just use ChatGPT here. Just going to prompt the last one. So 10 unique mechanisms. Let's check these out. 7-day demand system, client flow engine, predictable growth, authority acceleration method, book solid framework, AI client loop, social conversion method. I like the social conversion system. Let's see if we can get any more. Social profit system, social pipeline, social ROI, books from social lead loop. Let's not overthink this. Okay. Social conversion system. So now what do we have? We have our unique mechanism, we have our pain points, we have our outcomes, we have our target audience, which is service-based businesses. So why is this different than anything else? Well, let's just kind of take a look. If you're a service-based business in San Diego and you are tired of paying for outdated tactics that don't move the needle, maybe you spent thousands on SEO flyers, brand awareness campaigns that never brought in a single paying client, and deep down you're sick of wasting money on marketing that looks busy but doesn't fill your calendar, using our social conversion system, we will help you get predictable client flow in the next 7 days. How about that for messaging? Assuming that this speaks our client's language, okay? Because all we're doing is we're making this outcome-driven offer. We're speaking to the pain, we're speaking to the outcomes. Our whole business is based off of this. If you're just basing your business off of deliverables, it's gonna be really, really hard. Hey, we're gonna do 8 videos a month for you. Hey, we're gonna coach you. Hey, we're gonna help you get we're going to jump on coaching calls. People don't give a crap about that. They care about the outcomes. So we need to be clear on our outcomes and the pain points so that we can put these together and formulate an offer that gets results. Offer that people actually want. Offers that make people raise their hand and say, you are speaking directly to me, Austin. What is it that you have? What is this medicine that you have? So many offers that I see are vitamins. They're commodities. They're nice to have. Oh, when I have extra income, it's an expense though. If we can nail this, we can be able to nail what comes next from this. Okay. We want our offer to be medicine for clients. We want it to solve a pain point. If they just take our medicine, if they take our pill, if they just buy our offer, then they're going to get to the outcomes. Of course, we need to make sure our offer is good, our product is good. But from a marketing perspective, this is how you get more opportunities to get people to work your offer from. So I say that all to say, this is gonna be super, super important. This is the first thing that I'm going to be doing because we're gonna be using this in our marketing to help us come up with banger ad ideas. But that's the first thing that I need to hit on, guys, is the offer. So offer is super, super important. Creating an offer that actually gets clients. See you on the next section. All right, quick interruption. If you're struggling to get your offer dialed in or you're feeling stuck with the tech setup of everything, I totally get it. Gabrielle was exactly where you were. She had knowledge, she was really good at what she did, but she couldn't get her client acquisition system dialed. And after 4 months with our team, she was able to spend $2,400 on ads that generated over $24,000 in revenue. So if you want to skip the trial and error and have us implement this exact same system directly inside of your business, then click link down below to book a call with our team. What we'll do is we'll basically just review your specific situation, identify the fastest way that you can get results for your business, and see if we can help you get the same ROI that Gabrielle did. So the course has everything you need, but if you want some expert guidance, we are here to help. So book your implementation call down below and see if this could be a fit. Next thing that we're gonna be hitting on is the copy and writing the copy for the ads. So as you learned before in the overview, that's where I was talking about it, is we're gonna write a DM ad. And the ad that we're gonna create, it's going to be a B-roll style ad. So basically what that means is it's going to be basically just text on a screen. Let me see if I have an example real quick. So our end result is going to really look something like this. It's gonna be an image or a video and then the text on top of it. But what we're gonna be focused on is we're gonna be focused on the copy that goes on top of it. Oftentimes what I see when people are writing copy is the copy doesn't speak to anything that the customer cares about. And the reason people don't have a lot of success with this is they try to create copy that, just is vanilla, if that's what you want to call it, or doesn't speak to the audience. We literally have a split second to catch people's attention. And what we want to do with our ad is we want to make sure that people see the ad and they're like, oh my gosh, that's me. I need to respond to that because you're speaking to my pain and my outcomes. And I trust you because you are speaking my language. I'm going to raise my hand and I'm going to learn more about what this actually is. So in this step, what we're going to do is we're going to write the ad. We're going to write the ad that actually converts. Probably one of the most underrated skill that I've learned, or that I've uncovered, I guess you can say, as an agency owner slash coach, is the skill of copywriting. So luckily also in today's day and age, we have AI. So we're going to leverage a little bit of AI, but hopefully we can come up with some really good copy and some options for this and hopefully be able to explain the frameworks on the actual copy. So let's just get right into it. So what we're going to be using is we're going to be using our offer breakdown. So let me just export this. Oh, I guess I can just copy and paste it. Let me just delete the ChatGPT prompts here. So we have a couple of ChatGPT prompts here to help us out. Again, this is what we want it to look like: step list, stop the scroll, organic, all that sort of stuff. So we're just gonna use GPT, and the prompt is using my offer breakdown. We're gonna insert our offer breakdown that we just did. So I would encourage you, if you did not do that, to just create one really fast. Write me an ad following this format. Target customer. We will polarizing desired outcome that's financially driven in time frame using our unique mechanism. Step so you can desired outcome, step so you can desired outcome, step so you can desired outcome. And in the prompt, I'm always wanting to make it financially driven, because when we talk about outcomes, yeah, people like views, yeah, people like saving time, but the main thing that they like is making money. Okay, and we want to correlate that to money. That's going to be the benefit. So let's just go to ChatGPT. Let's open that bad boy up and let's paste the prompt. I'm going to delete this. I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna target this and this. Let's just see how this comes out. We'll turn your marketing into a profit machine in 7 days using our social conversion system. So here's where I can be a little bit more specific. Be more specific on this section, because we will turn your marketing into a profit machine. This doesn't make sense. Or we'll help them. And then we can kind of work through the other points too. We'll be book 5 to 10 new clients in 7 days using our social conversion system. We'll make you the go-to name of your city and pack your calendar in 7 days. That's pretty solid using our social conversion system. Automate your lead follow-up so you can book clients on autopilot. Use our Notion dashboard so you can see your pipeline revenue. So now we can choose which elements we like and what we think is actually going to be sticky. So I like this, obviously. Maybe I would say doing 30K a month plus. So I'm gonna make it even more specific. And then I like this line. I like this line, but make it more financially driven. Maybe swap pack calendar and go to name. Oops, shoot. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Okay, let's see. So let's use this one. We'll help you book. I want to be more specific here. 8 new clients, 7 days. That's pretty bold. Maybe I should be more specific on the service-based business owners. I'm just going to say, let's do home service-based businesses. Okay. This is where we can get a little bit more granular because service-based just isn't really like hitting for me. Okay. So I don't like that. Okay. See how this is a little bit more specific. We'll make your business the go-to name in San Diego and add 5 new booked jobs within 30 days using our social conversion system. It's pretty punchy. We'll make your business the go-to name in San Diego in 5. So let's just rework this line again. This is how specific we need to be. And thank God for ChatGPT. I like this one. Let's see. I like this. Okay, cool. That's really strong because I know that these people deal with, tire kickers and stuff like that, and they want high paying homeowners. And let's just write this. Pretty solid. Okay. So we're going to tweak this a little bit. So let's just do this again. So the integrity is there. Cool. I like this. Love it. Automating your DMs, even while you're on the job, solid. We can remove Notion because they're not aware of Notion. So let's rewrite this one. Nice. Pretty solid ad, my friends. Okay, not bad. I'm going to change this to launch. Launch your ads in 7 days. Yeah, I like that one. Okay. We want some like urgency and we want them to be like, holy crap, that's freaking dope. So I'm just going to paste this one that's reworked. I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to say, here's my final. Okay, you see how I'm like spending so much time on this? It's because this is extremely, extremely important. So I would suggest coming up with 2 options. I think 2 really, really solid options. And this kind of works with like every niche. I think what you just discovered and what you saw me do is like, okay, yeah, we're targeting service-based business owners because our offer, our mechanism could literally work with any type of business, right? And that's the benefit of like running something like this is how rapidly we can like test this out. Because if it was like, okay, I launched these and the home service angle isn't really working that great. Okay, let me try this with chiropractors. I could do this with so many different niches, That's like the benefit. Nice, I like this one. Okay. Cool. Let's work it. Launch. I'm going to say in 7 days. Automate your follow-ups. Nice. So that's pretty much the ad copy. That's the copy on how we do it. But what I really want to emphasize is how much time we're spending on writing these ads. It is by far the most important part of the ad. It's the copy. So again, let's just quickly overview it. Call out, I like to add the income qualifier. Okay, we'll bring you 5 high-paying homeowner jobs in 30 days using our social conversion system. So the desired outcome, like no tire kickers, just ready to hire clients. Launch your ads, and then outcome. Launch your ads in 7 days that get homeowners asking you for quotes. Automate your DMs and follow-ups so every homeowner gets a response fast. Track every lead, job, and dollar inside of one simple dashboard. And we don't need to fill, like I would just stick to like one angle, one thing. Like we don't need to fill too much in it, but that's pretty much it. Now that we have the ad written, now what we want to do is create it. Make it look up. When creating the ad, a few options that we can do. Option number one is we can just use like Instagram stories. That's something that I used to do a lot, which is a viable option. Option number two is you can use something like Canva. So now that we have this written, now what we can do is we can use Canva. I'm going to use this Canva template here. If I click on edit template, then it'll take me to a template that I can just edit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click add new. I'll start from blank. Let's see, San Diego services, So first things first is we need to decide on the image. So from this perspective, if we're doing San Diego business owners, what would be contextual that would catch their attention? You shooting on a job, you doing video for a service-based business owner, or a home service, what would be contextual? We want to catch the attention of these people. So I'm gonna do a couple options. Let's just see what works best. So first things first, I'm gonna go to elements. I'm just gonna type in San Diego. And let's just go to photos. What also works well is it's not like so like high def. Let me actually just look through my photos really quickly and see if I have anything that's San Diego vibe. Just airdropped it to myself. Boom, let's drag that in there. Let's definitely mute you. Pretty San Diego-y, I would say. That's an option. Let's see if there's another one of us like shooting a job. Okay, found one of me shooting video. So I think that could also be an option. Let's drag that in here. I'm just gonna do a few options. And then we can decide which one works best. Home service vibe, let's see. So 4 examples. And add the last one here as well. So you guys can decide which ones we should rip, but I guess we'll decide when we put this together. Contextual, I like the UGC vibe personally, so let's roll with that. So now let's just go back to our copy. So now we're just gonna do this line by line, literally. And one thing that we'll want to do is we'll want to make specific things stand out, okay? San Diego home service businesses. So let's do effects, let's do background. Yellow is fine. Looks good to me. Then we're going back to our next line. Effects. Still going to do a background. Let's make this one white. The thing with this, guys, is it'll look a lot bigger or smaller on screen than when we do it. Okay, and then we're going to do this line. Effects. Background. Let's make it white again. Even it out. Center to the left. What size is this? 17.8. 17. 17. Next line. Automate your follow-ups. I like it. And then last line here. Track every lead / job. Cool. And then let's go back here. Call to action. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to make this look a little bit better. This might be a 3-liner. I know, guys, this is ugly. You might be thinking to yourself, trust me, y'all, this works. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look into this and I'm going to red. I'm just going to like emphasize some key points here. Cool. I dig this. So now what we need to do, we can just center it and look at that. Just make this even bigger. Okay. This looks pretty solid. Pretty San Diego-y. I like this. Okay, cool. So let's just say we wanted to use this again. Just copy it, paste it on this one. Another fine option. Okay. Now, if we wanted to use this one, let's just use the other one. Same call out. I'm just gonna get everything in there and then we'll optimize. So let's just make this a 2-liner. And then we can extend this out. Obviously, that's an important section. We can widen this because that's the only one. Track every lead, job, and dollar in one simple dashboard so you can see. I am digging this, my friends. Just make this 2 lines. 64, 64, bada bing. Let's make this red. Launch ads in 7 days. Automate your follow-ups. Track every lead in one simple dashboard. And system is going to be red as well. Looks good to me. A little drone action in front of a house. It's contextual. Nice. I like this. 4 options, just like that. So yeah, the main thing is make the call out big. Like make words red, underline, bold as needed. I'm just using the Poppins font. I mean, you guys can use whatever you want. Yeah, underline specific things. I think using the background as UGC vibe, like cell phone video, is advantageous, and then contextual to who it is that you're talking to. So that's pretty much how we create the ad. Pretty simple for the most part. Yeah, and then all we need to do is we just need to click share, download, and then we can just download the ones that we want and then get them loaded. So That's creating the ad. Fairly simple, guys. All right, now that we have the ads created, do we just go to the ads manager, launch these bad boys and call it good? No, what we want to do is we want to start sharpening our sword and prepare for what we're going to be getting, which is going to be leads. And what we see a lot when it comes to, just lead management in general is most agencies and coaches treat lead gen kind of like a disaster, right? They get leads here, they have leads here, they have leads here, they have all of these leads here. They launch an ad and they have no idea how to actually attribute what they're getting from their lead gen. And what happens is they get stuck because there's no centralized system, there's no qualification filter. Their leads are in 20 different places. There's no metrics on how they're actually performing, and they don't actually treat lead generation seriously. So they think that because oftentimes, like a lot of coaches and agencies, they rely on word of mouth and referrals, and they're like, oh yeah, I can for sure set these appointments, and they're so used to these layup appointments that when they start running ads, they don't realize that these people are cold. They have no idea who they are. It's a way different game, a way different mindset. With that being said, what we want to do is we want to have a system that we can manage these leads, because once we start getting leads, we don't want to just, oh yeah, I'll respond to them and really fly blind. Like that's what we really just want to avoid. So what we want to do is we want to sharpen the sword before we actually launch these and make sure that we have an appropriate system. And we call this having a leads OS. A couple things just on before we review the leads OS. Yeah, no follow-up discipline, no appointment setter mindset. So many people just do this wrong and they wonder why they don't actually get results when they have a client getting system or any form of lead gen. So we want to flip the script and we want to make sure that, like, yeah, I could say right now, whoever is watching this, I could speak directly to you and I could say, yeah, let's just launch the ads and you're going to get a bunch of leads. But the problem is you don't have a centralized system. Like you don't have the mindset of being an appointment setter. You don't have the system in place to actually manage these leads. And ultimately you're going to just waste money with your lead gen efforts or not actually get the result that you're wanting because you don't have the system in place to manage everything. So some old beliefs, oh, I'll just follow up when I'll remember. No, if it's not being tracked, you're going to forget about it. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night and be like, oh gosh, I need to follow up with that person, like myself. Oh, I'll get to it later. Oh, I don't need a CRM until I scale. Oh, appointment setting is about hustle. I just need more leads. It's like oftentimes, no, you just need a better system and you need to manage this better. So what we're going to just quickly review, and you guys can get access to this for free because you guys are watching this down below somewhere, whether that's in the comment or in the description, likely the comments. But if we scroll down, we have what's called a appointment setting operating system. Okay. So this means I'm setting my infrastructure up so that when somebody does respond to these leads, they automatically get added here. So what I can do is I'm really setting myself up to never miss a lead, because if you're paying for ads, like what we're going to be teaching you inside of this client getting system, what you don't want to do is you don't want to get responses and not have any idea what's actually working and what's not working. So inside of here, basically what we're going to do, what we're going to teach you here later on, is how to automate all of your leads to this leads OS. And then really what we're trying to do and set you up for success to be able to do is see all the leads that you're getting, be able to track them, and ultimately have a dashboard so that you eventually, as you scale, because I'm thinking 10 steps ahead for you guys, is when you scale, I can plug in a VA. I can plug in an appointment setter to work the leads that I'm getting, because eventually you're going to be bogged down with new clients and you're not going to be able to be on your phone all the time setting appointments. But what you can do is you can delegate it. But if you're not delegating it to a system, then you're basically setting somebody up to fail, and you're really setting yourself up to fail if you don't have this. So let me just quickly review this. All right, so up top here, we just have some dashboards from the Leads OS. On the left here, we have some SOPs. So what we'll talk about later on is like appointment setting workflow. So we'll be able to create like a workflow for your appointment setting efforts, as well as somebody that you eventually hire. SOPs around appointment setting. So if there's any standard operating procedures, any calendar links, all that sort of stuff. Calendar links, which we'll talk about later on. Any video sales letters that you have, any resources that you can send over, et cetera, et cetera. We just want to have a centralized system for all things appointment setting, all things that will set the appointment setter up to actually succeed. Cool. If I scroll over here to the right, if I look over here to the right, a few different views, but most importantly, what we have is just like a Kanban board of all of the leads. And what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to automate when somebody responds to our ads and add them to initiated. So when I open this up, what we'll be able to see is we'll be able to see things like the lead status. Okay, where are they at? If they're qualified or not, when you messaged them, if there's a specific follow-up date that you need to have, if they booked a call, when they actually booked the call, and if they signed, when they actually became a client. And then if we scroll down here, we'll be able to see, the lead source, their Instagram handle, the word that they opted in for. And then down below is just some like data properties, which could be helpful, but not really relevant at this point. But what this will allow us to do is this will allow us to start tracking everything, because now we can see, okay, cool, let's just say this person signed. Now what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to go into a dashboard from like a data perspective, and we'll be able to see things like we have spent this much data. So I'll fill this in as we go through like more of the tracking, but we'll be able to see how many opt-ins that we've gotten, how many calls booked have we gotten by month, how much cash collected have we gotten per month, how many new clients, how many book calls, how many opt-ins, et cetera, in a simple dashboard, so that when we make decisions on how our ads are performing, all we need to look at is the dashboard. So we'll go over the tracking a little bit later, but I want you guys to grab this down below so that when we begin to build out the system and we launch these ads, you're actually set up for success. Because the last thing I want to do is just be like, oh yeah, I could just get you a bunch of leads. And then now you're just in the dark on what to actually do next. Like, that's setting you up for failure. I'm trying to give you the infrastructure to scale to 7 figures and beyond and build a team and become a true CEO, not just get a bunch of leads and be overwhelmed by it or drop the ball or anything like that. I can get you leads like that. But the difference is, how do we get quality leads? How do we optimize everything? How do we make this consistent? How do we make this delegatable, repeatable, all that sort of stuff? So that's the appointment setting OS, the leads OS, and what we'll be just kind of going through a little bit as we get prepared to launch the ads. But that's it, guys. Cheers. Hey, quick pause. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with implementing any of what you're watching, you are not alone. Todd was in your exact same position, overwhelmed, never had run ads, and wanted to do it correctly, so he joined Agency U to do so. And after we implemented the system, he was able to just spend over $500 on ads and generate 40 DMs, book 18 calls, and close 4 clients at $2,200 each. So if you are watching this, you want to shortcut your results and help us implement this system directly inside of your business, then click the link down below to book an implementation call with our team. We'll audit your current setup, identify what's missing, and see if we can help you get results faster, just like what we did for Todd. No pressure. Course has everything you need, but if you want expert help, then click the link down below and we'll chat with you there. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to work on optimizing our appointment setting OS or our leads OS so that we have everything that we need in order to actually do good at appointment setting. Because the idea here is for you not to just be drowning in your DMs and just like responding to your DMs and have like a note section, but have something to fall back on. Design beats willpower. We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. And oftentimes when people start appointment setting is they get overwhelmed, they're just drowning in the DMs, they're like overthinking everything. They don't know what to send because they don't have the infrastructure to actually set them up for success. And then this leads to them just not booking appointments or them getting frustrated because they don't have the actual infrastructure needed in order to actually make this work. So where we're going to start is we're going to start with calendar links. So what we want on this appointment setter OS, on the leads OS, is a link to all of our calendars that are going to be important for the appointment setter to then be able to send inside of the DMs and just give them quick access. So what we need to do is we need to create sales calendars. So when somebody books a call with you, we can send them a calendar link, and then inside of the DMs, then they can book a call directly inside of the DMs. So that's the idea behind this. We're going to send them a calendar link once we start having a conversation and they're ready to go and they're ready to book an appointment. We're going to send them the link here that we can easily access, that's going to live there. We don't need a fumble trying to find our calendar link, that's going to be there. So importantly, I know this isn't like a sales process video, but I do want to go over how to set up calendar links properly so that people actually show up and you're getting qualified people that you're actually talking to on a call. There's really 2 ways. First way is going to be through Go High Level. Second way is going to be through Calendly. Either one is a great option. I prefer Go High Level, one, because we have a snapshot that you can just take of ours and use from like a workflow perspective. And then 2, it's a great way to foundationally start building your sales infrastructure from like a sales process perspective. Again, this isn't a sales process video, but I do want to make sure that you are set up for success from the jump, and this is important. If you are familiar with Go High Level, this is what it is. When you onboard, you can basically set up a onboarding call with the team over at Go High Level and then get your website set up. They can get your email set up so that you have appointment reminders going out accordingly. So let me just show you real quick how to build calendars. So if I go to calendars on the left-hand side, then I just go to calendar settings. And then what you'll need to do with Go High Level, this isn't a Go High Level training, but what you want to do is you want to spend time with them, make sure that your calendar is linked up, make sure everything is syncing really well so that we can actually use these and actually sync with your Google, which is really, really easy to do under just like settings and then staff. And then what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to connect all your calendars to it so that you can sync everything. Right here, there's nothing connected. So we would just need to go to integrations. So then you just need to connect your Google Calendar And then that way it'll actually sync. So anyway, again, this isn't a go high level video, but if I go to calendar settings, what we'll want to do is want to create a new calendar. We'll select round robin. And in this case, this is going to be discovery call X your name. And then what I also like to do is I like to create calendar groups. So for each type of call, there's automations for each type of call, essentially. Just to narrow focus in on the discovery call, cool, I have a discovery call group. So you can just click on new group. If you do get this snapshot, guys, everything is already preloaded in here. So that's why I'm kind of rushing through this, because you don't really need to do much because everything is going to be already here. Then what we'll do is we can just click on edit, meeting details will already be here. Description will already be here. The link will already be there. This will basically be the meeting invite title. Then you can assign team members based off of who's actually there. And then the meeting location will either sync with this person or you can add your own. Availability, you can put the availability of your times. Forms, we're going to select discovery call form, which is the point that I'm going to hit on in a little bit. And then that's pretty much it. And once we save this, then what we'll be able to do is we can go ahead and just like copy this one-time link. We'll be able to share calendar, copy the scheduling link, and then use it. Or what we can do, what I like to do is I like to embed the code into a website. So it looks something like this. So they can just quickly go here and then they can see that it's on your website URL and it looks professional. So let's just go back here and let's talk about the form and the questions that we need to be asking. So if I go to sites, if I go to forms, builder, inside of here, we have discovery call. If you're not using Go High Level, the other option would be something like Calendly. But what I would do is I would mimic how we're setting this up. So basically, this is what the client fills out before they book an appointment with you. And this way, we're not just getting their first name and email, because oftentimes, like what could happen is, the person that you're booking an appointment with could be completely unqualified. And what may seem like a good idea, just to get another call in the books, is just going to lead to wasting your time, because you're spending all this time trying to qualify this customer. They're not a fit, and you just lost an hour on your calendar to somebody that's unqualified. So how do we kind of pre-qualify them? How do we set the expectations in the call? Well, there's an application to book a call. Basically, the flow will be kind of like ours. They select the time, then they fill out the application. Because what you don't want is just like unqualified people booking, trying to get free information, or people who are just not a fit and aren't an actual buyer. Okay, that's really the point here. First name, last name, phone number, email, business name, website, just like basic contact information. Now, the next question that we like to ask is like, what kind of business are they? So depending on what kind of businesses you serve, this is really where you're trying to just understand like their situation, like what kind of business are they? It could either be any of these businesses, and I always like to say just getting started, no business yet, or other, because these people kind of would be an automatic DQ. Then we want to understand their current situation from like a business perspective. Where's your business at right now? I have no revenue yet, $0 to $10,000 a month, 10,000 to 50. So this is where you can put ranges on the business, depending on the businesses that you're working with. However you want to frame this, I've seen people put like 0, 1 million to 5 million, 5 million to 10 million, 10 million to 50, and that would be yearly, depending on the types of clients and where they would be. So this is important. I know you might be thinking to yourself, I don't like, that's like a really personal question. I don't want to ask that. But the reality is it's only going to help both of you guys. And if somebody is going through this application and they're insecure to put this, they're probably not a good fit, because they're probably don't have any revenue, or they're not an actual buyer. They don't have a problem that needs to be solved. So that's the reality of it. If they're not willing to fill out this application, are they really willing to become a client and invest in the growth of their business? Probably not. What's your top priority when it comes to marketing? I want more qualified leads. I want to be the most known in my area. I have a project I need help with. I'm not sure. I just know I need help. So like, what are their goals? You can define these however you want to. What's the biggest challenge when it comes to marketing? I don't know where to start. I don't have time. I'm not getting results. Again, you could add your own to this. What have you tried in the past? So this is a checkbox where they can select multiple of them. How soon are you trying to get help with your marketing? So this creates a little bit of a sense of urgency. If they're like, I'm not sure, I'll need a few weeks, something like that. No urgency. Is that person qualified? Probably not. Should you jump on a call with them? Depending on what the other application questions say, kind of up to you. Okay. So yesterday would be like, hey, they're ready to rock on this. And then I also like to ask, will all decision makers be on the call? Yes, I'm the solo decision maker. Yes, I have partners and everyone will be on the call. No, I have partners that will not be on the call. So this is important, because if you're trying to have them make a decision to work with you or not, and their partners aren't on the call, what do you think their objection is going to be? Oh, I need to talk to my partner. It makes sense if they said something like, no, I have partners that will not be on the call. Then in that case, what I would do is ping them and say, hey, can your partner join? Cool. And then anything else that would be helpful before our call. So that's pretty much it. Our application is a little bit more in depth, but this is super, super helpful, because when they book a meeting, we'll be able to see the application, be able to go through the application and see if they're in fact qualified or not. So if I go back to calendars, if I go back to calendar settings, then I can go ahead and open up my discovery call. I can go to forms and payment, and then I'm going to select the discovery call. Again, I'm not going to go too in depth on this just because we have the snapshot that you guys can get because you guys are watching this. We're pumped for you that you can just use this exact form and then you can manipulate it how you need to. You can duplicate the questions, et cetera, et cetera. So that's using Go High Level. Basically, that's creating the calendar in Go High Level. And then the second part of it would be the appointment reminders. So if I go to automation on the left-hand side, we'll see something called call flows. If I open this up, then we'll see something called sales calls booked. And basically what we're doing is we're automating the appointment reminders. So what we're doing is on a new appointment, if the appointment is in the group discovery call, in calendar group discovery call, then they go through this appointment flow. So we send a confirmation email, we send an SMS. So if you don't have Go High Level, you want to make sure that you get your A2P approved as soon as possible. If not, then your SMS won't fire. Not the end of the world. This shouldn't stop you from setting this up. Then we add them to our pipeline inside of Go High Level. I like to add a sales call booked tag just so we know who booked a call. And then 24 hours before the appointment, we send them a reminder email. And then we also send a case studies or some case studies. Then 1 hour before the appointment, we send another reminder and an SMS. Then 5 minutes, we send the link to the meeting. So that is a pretty basic flow of how you can get more people on a call and set up your automation pretty quickly through that. So anytime somebody books an appointment, they're automatically going to be added to that so that we can then take them through the flow. So that's how you do it in Go High Level. Again, we'll link the snapshot inside of here so that you can use it. And then otherwise, what you can also do is you can use something like Calendly. So if you log in with your Calendly, the way to do that is to simply create a new appointment, one-on-one. I'd make this 60 minutes. Location, you can link your Zoom and then click on create. We should probably call this discovery call. Internet wants to move slow right now. So let's just go ahead and open this up. We can rename this to discovery call. And then what we'll also be able to do is click on more options. Let's see what that gives us. Description. So what I like to add in the description is simply something like this is a Zoom meeting and please join in a distraction-free environment and pick a time that you can be in a distraction-free environment. I already have copy written for that. I guess I could just take ours. Boom, booking page options, 30-minute increments, fine. And then we can create the form as well. So basically what we can do is we can take the form questions from sites, forms, builder, discovery call, and we can take these same questions and add them here as well. We can change the answer type so we can start filling that out as well. The thing that I don't love about Calendly is you can't really like customize. Like if somebody replies to your Calendly, it's like a no reply email that gets sent. So that's kind of not in our favor because we would like to know if they replied. But you can do appointment reminders, but they're pretty basic appointment reminders. And it's basically the same appointment reminder every single time. So if I go to more options, notifications and workflows, then if I click on email reminders, basically what we'd be able to do is, here we go, reply to, I guess there is a reply now. Okay. But it just goes to your email. The thing I like about Go High Level is it goes to like the central email, which is really nice. Reminder, event name with blah, 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 blah. And then inside of the reminders, you're basically sending the same reminder every single time. So it's not like different, which I don't love. That's why I prefer something like Go High Level, but that's how you can kind of add the same logic there and whatnot. So that's pretty much it inside of Calendly. And then what we want to do once we have the calendar created is we just want to go ahead and go to sites. We can go ahead, or sorry, not sites, calendars. If you're embedding on your website, perfect. If not, whatever. Let's just say we embed it on our website. Then we want to go to calendar links. And then what we can do is we can go ahead and go to calendar links, click on new page, sales call calendar. Then we can select sales and then we can paste the link. And then this is going to be for my calendar. So now when I'm on the appointment setting OS and someone's like, yeah, let's chat. Boom, boom, send. So 2 ways to do it. I'll link our snapshot and whatnot inside of the creating calendar section, but it's pretty straightforward. Make sure your application is filled out. Make sure the appointment reminders are on so that you can go through those and determine if this person is the best fit to jump on a call. And then that way you have the most context because it's only going to benefit the both of you for them to have that filled out. Because if not, then I think the hesitation is people are like, oh, I don't want to ask all these questions. It's going to prevent people from booking a call. Cool. It's going to prevent the wrong people from booking a call. Just want to make sure that that is top of mind for you guys. Next up, we will chat about getting your OS even more dialed. We're going to set up an automation using Manychat. So as you saw in the ads, we're not driving people to a form. We're not driving people to watch this video, to download this thing. We're driving them to DM us a specific keyword. And what I used to do, and what a lot of people do, is they get these leads and they're glued to their phone because they know that they need to respond immediately in order to get a response. And it really just takes all of their attention. And if you're a coach or an agency owner, you have other things that you're working on. And the last thing that you need to be doing is to be anxious looking at your phone all the time. So there's a solution for that. And the solution is called Manychat. We're big fans of Manychat. We're one of their top companies that work with them for a reason, because it works. It is a good product. And what this does is anytime somebody DMs us a specific word, then we can automate the messages to them. And on this page, you'll see a few different options. So you can take these will be fun for you. But basically, when somebody DMs a specific keyword, we can take them through a full workflow, or we can take them through a more basic workflow, which is awesome. I would suggest we just do a basic workflow for now, just at least automating the first message and then you chiming in and kind of going from there. But you have options, okay? So you guys can use the link here, and then you guys can kind of work with these if you wanted to and kind of see what would actually work best for you guys. So let's just go through how to actually set this up. And I'm just going to set this up from scratch. So let's go ahead and first set up our Manychat. So all you really need to do is just connect your Instagram to Manychat. I linked a nice little, whatever it's called, training. It'll just link with your Facebook. So you need to make sure that you're in Business Manager. And then what we'll open up is Manychat. So what I like to do is I like to create new folders. So I'm just going to call this example course video YouTube. That way I can organize these, because eventually, if you're like me, you're gonna have a ton of them for a ton of different words, which is gonna be extremely beneficial. So what we need to do is, I like to just start from scratch, probably because I'm more of a veteran, but they have a lot of different templates in here that you guys can use, which is really cool. Like DM by trigger. I'm just gonna go to start from scratch, and we're gonna create just one actually. Okay, so we're going to do start from scratch, direct message, new automation, start from scratch. Start with blank. Okay, this is how I like to do it, but they have a lot of templates that you can play with. So we're gonna do new trigger. New trigger, user sends a message. Then options up here, detect specific words in a message. Message contains, no. Message is, then we're gonna put the keyword here. So I'll just put scale, and I also like to put scale exclamation point. It's not case sensitive, so it does not matter. Then I'm gonna go ahead and click on create. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna send them a message. So what I like to do is I like to add a little delay so it doesn't seem so robotic. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to say, thanks for responding, delay. Just make this 1 second. Oh, I think it has to be 3 max. 2 seconds. I do 2 seconds. Nice. Wait 2 seconds. And then basically when somebody messages us the keyword, so I'm just gonna use scale, that's the keyword that somebody's gonna message us. And what will happen is we'll wait 3 seconds and then we'll send them this message, okay? So now what we need to think about is when somebody messages us inquiring about our service, what is it that we actually say? So in this case, it was DM me systems to learn how this could work for you. So in this case, I'm gonna keep this pretty broad. Hey, thanks for responding. What kind of business do you have? Something like that. Or it could be, tell me more about your business, or something along those lines. I'm gonna keep this again pretty broad, because I just want the first message to be automated. Of course, which I'm not gonna get into because this isn't like an AI appointment setting course. You could do things like, just go to Instagram. You could do quick replies, or it could be like service-based, or I'm a real estate, or I'm a plumber. And then they could select the buttons down below. So if you want to get fancy, you can certainly do that, but we're just doing this from like the beginning. I just want us to keep it as simple as possible. This is what we do even, so we don't really need to like worry about it, but we can have confidence knowing in 3 seconds after they respond, we're gonna get this response out. Then what we're gonna do, all we're gonna do is we're gonna click actions. We're gonna click tag. We're gonna add tag, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to create a tag that matches the keyword, which you'll see here in a second why. And then I'm gonna go here, I'm just gonna label this scale DM, and now I can go ahead and preview it. And let's just see how it goes. Perfect, so that's how you can do it. Again, this is the basic one here. This is more using the quick replies, and then this is advanced. Okay, if you wanted to use quick replies with a bunch of follow-ups, all that sort of stuff, that's certainly an option as well. But if you're watching this and this is the first time that you're going to use this system, let's just start with the basic. I think that's going to be our best bet because we just don't want to overcomplicate it and we want to get into a flow and we want to define what questions to ask at each point. And we'll talk about the appointment setting workflow later and after this so that you can have an idea of what to actually say after this type of response. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and click set live. Now what we're going to do is we're gonna go to a tool called Zapier. So what Zapier does is it connects two apps. So now what we're going to be able to do is when somebody messages us, basically based off of the tag on Manychat, then it will then automatically add it to Notion. So anytime somebody messages us, I can have full confidence that they're going to show up inside of our appointment setting OS. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create folder. Okay, again, we're just gonna keep this super, super organized. Cool, spelled that wrong, I know. Then we're gonna click on create. We're gonna click create news app. And then the trigger is going to be what? Manychat. And then the trigger from Manychat is going to be tagged user. And we're gonna select the account. I think this is the right one. Should be fine. And then we're gonna select the tag. Cool. Tag is selected. We're gonna click on continue. And then we're gonna test trigger. So what I would do at this point is I would just have somebody that you know just send yourself a quick DM. That way you have a piece of data that you could use. Then we're going to continue with selected record and we're going to use what? Notion. So action on event is we're going to create a database item. Create data source item. Cool. Then we're going to select our Notion account. We're going to click on continue. Now what we need to do is we need to go to our appointment setting OS and click. I like to click on this. You can see source leads database 2.0. I'm just going to change this. Okay, example 1, 2, 3. So I can see what the database that we want to add this to is. Okay, I'm not finding it. So what I like to do in this case is go here. We need to go to connections. We need to go to Zapier, and then we need to add it. So that is the hack there. Then what I also like to do if it's not showing up is I'll just change this name. I'll just do YT leads example database. And then we should refresh and it should show up on the top. So we need to make sure our Notion is connected to Zapier. Nice, big money energy, let's go. And then click on continue, configure, then it'll load everything to it. So then with the test piece of data, then we'll be able to put their name in here. I just click the plus button and it shows all the information that we're able to get from Manychat. Email, not important. Lead status, initiated. Lead source would be Instagram opt-in. Opt-in word would be the tag Instagram. We can do that as well. I also like to use the slash key because that will pull it up as well. And let's just look at the database real quick. Added. Cool. So that should be good to go. So now what we do is we just click on continue and then click test step. And if I go to my OS, I should see this person pop up here. Maybe I just need to refresh this. Cool, there we go. So now they'll pop in here. So now your job, your appointment setter's job is to work with this person. So let's just say they're qualified, perfect. Then we can mark them as qualified. And then I would also message like the message date. And if there's like a follow-up date, then we can do that. That way you can see all of your follow-up dates. Then what I like to do is, let's just say we book them in same day. We just need to make sure we're adding all of this stuff because all of this stuff is extremely important. And then now what we'll be able to do is when we start to make decisions based off of our results, then we can be able to see, okay, cool. We've gotten this many people from scale. Okay, if I want to show the keyword, if I can go here, property visibility, opt-in word, I can see what keyword each person has come from. So if you're running multiple different ads with multiple different keywords, then you can see which is actually performing best just directly inside of here. Pretty simple, guys. So that's how we just automate everything here and it'll keep everything up to date. What I also like to do is just do like a Slack notification. So what I would do is I would just create like a Slack channel inside of your Slack or an email notification or something like that. And then I would just send a send channel message and then you can just connect your Slack here and then you can send a message, new lead, boom. That means get on it. That means you got to ping these people as soon as possible because if you're like anything like me, like you don't really check Instagram like all day and you're not really waiting. So the Slack message is a good way to emphasize that you have a new lead there. And what you can also do is you can also add in like a conversation link. So live chat URL. So if they go to this, then it will actually inside of Manychat go to the live chat and then you can also chat with them in there if that's the process that you want to do. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do scale DM to Notion, relabel that. Then we can go ahead and publish that inside of our Zapier, and then that will be live. But I'm going to turn this off just because I don't want that ripping. And we're pretty much good to go on this. That's how you automate everything so that you don't need to be glued to your phone all the time and that your leads will just automatically pop up here. And then now you can just maneuver them based off of the status of where they're at. So that's automating the leads and from Manychat to your Notion. All right, quick pause. If you are looking at these steps and you're thinking to yourself, do I really have to figure this all out by myself? You're not alone. Santiago was also overwhelmed by trying to implement everything on his own, the ads, the funnel, the follow-up sequences, the sales process. And after 6 months with our team inside of Agency U, we helped him set everything up for him. And the result, he generated over $91,000 of contracted revenue in 1 week across 5 different clients. So why spend weeks piecing this together when our team can help you implement the complete system in just days? So click the link down below to book an implementation call. We'll basically just analyze your specific situation, identify any roadblocks, and see if we can help you get results faster, just like Santiago did. The course has all of the information, but our team has the implementation expertise. So book your call below and let's get this working for you. All right, next up, now that we have our offers that get clients, we have the B-roll ads, we have the ads ready to go, we have our leads OS, we have the creating calendars, we have the Manychat automation dialed in, we are freaking making progress. Now, the next thing that we want to do is we want to focus on appointment setting. So how do we actually set the appointments inside of the DMs? How do we get somebody from cold to sold? If you're anything like me when you first started your business in coaching and agency world, you heavily relied on word of mouth and referrals. And it was really easy to set appointments because it came from somebody that knew you and maybe that you did business with them. And it was a lot easier to set appointments, have a conversation, all that sort of stuff. What we really need to realize is that these people are cold. These people don't trust you. They don't know you. So there's one thing to get somebody who comes from a trusted friend, whatever it could be. And then there's another thing to get somebody from cold to actually appointment booked. And there's an art to appointment setting. So what I don't want you to do is skip through some like, oh, I can respond to DMs. No, there's a way to actually do this that will actually set you up for success. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we build our appointment setting workflow inside of the Leads OS so that we can reference it and use it, because eventually we can then delegate this. Again, design beats willpower. The only way that you're going to be able to actually scale this system is to have a system that can actually scale and a framework that can actually scale. One thing that Alex Hormozi always talks about is the success metric for a salesperson, somebody in sales that you bring on your team, isn't always their close rate or how good charisma, whatever it could be. It's the adherence to script. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to find the script that somebody can follow, that we can follow, that's actually going to create the outcome. And luckily for you, we've set thousands of appointments through the DMs, and we've been able to actually create the appointment setting workflow that is actually going to work for you. So let's go through all things appointment setting workflow and how you can create your own appointment setting workflow using your offer, using our offer breakdown, and just give you a quick little rundown of how to actually treat the DMs. So at this point, what's going to happen is somebody's going to message us, and they're going to message us. We're going to get a tag, or we're going to get a Slack notification before we set that up. Now, what happens next? Let's zoom out a little bit before we actually get into the tactics, and we'll make the tactics like super, super easy for you guys. So first things first, we want to always keep it short and easy to read. So this isn't formal. We're not going to send 10 different paragraphs. What we like to do is we like to split long messages into multiple text bubbles. So you saw in the Manychat automation, we split up just 2 text bubbles. So if they respond, be like, hey, thanks for responding. What kind of business do you have? Oh, I'm a plumber. That's awesome. Send. Then you ask the question. So that leads me to my next point, which is like active engagement. That's awesome. Ton of opportunity there. That's awesome. We have been crushing it with plumbers. Then insert question to keep it going. Be conversational, like treat DMs like a normal conversation that you'd have with a friend. Short, yo, hey, emojis, all that sort of stuff. We want to add personality. Response time, paramount, guys. Respond within 15 minutes during working hours to keep the conversation flowing. Like block time throughout your day to handle your responses and do the follow-ups. Like avoid larger gaps in the responses. Otherwise, people are just going to drop off. And then follow through. If you're starting a conversation with somebody, what you don't want to do is you don't want to have a conversation with them, ask a question, and then go do something for the next 45 minutes and then go back to your DMs. Because if they're sitting on their DMs and they're responding to you, we want to capture that right then and there. So don't disappear. Don't post and ghost. Don't send and ghost. We want to keep the momentum in the chat. Then we get to booking. Information is key. So if a prospect declines or they drop off, they may lack enough information about your process. So we want to build trust and provide clear details about what you do and how it benefits them. And we also want to qualify every lead. So we want to make sure that they see our value and that it's actually worth their time. We don't want to just like immediately book somebody. We want to get a little bit of information, what their goal is, and then send them to the application. By doing this, we should be able to get 80% show rate. With all that being said, let's go through the appointment setting workflow, and then let's build our own appointment setting workflow. So at this point, these leads are warm. They've seen your ad, they've opted in, etc. Our job is simple. It's to qualify, to build trust, and then book the call. So how do we do that? Well, first things first is the situation phase. So we want to start the conversation naturally. Thanks for responding to the ad. Perfect. Then now what we want to do is we want to understand like their current situation, which is going to be automated through Manychat. So here's some examples. for you. So now when they respond, we want to acknowledge their response. Gotcha. Plumbing industry has been killing it. Then what we want to do is we want to go to the goal phase. So let me just use like an example. If we said, hey, thanks for responding to the ad. What kind of business do you run? Oh, I run a plumbing business. What we would do is we would say something like, gotcha. We've been crushing it with people in the plumbing business. Then we go to the goal. What's the big goal for the business? What made you respond to the ad as it pertains to what you're trying to achieve? Now we're trying to understand what enticed them to actually respond to the ad. What's the goal? You may need to spend some time here actually understanding it. Like you don't want to just like go from question to question to question. Like if it's like, oh, I want more leads. Got it. When you say that you want more leads, like what do you mean by that? You want more like homeowner calls, you like blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. And then that leads us to the next thing. So we have the goal. Got it. What's the goal? The goal is I want more leads. Awesome. More leads will help grow your business for sure. Whatever. Awesome. Everybody wants more leads. Money's the best. Whatever. Send. Then we do the next question, or the next question, which would be the problem phase. What's been stopping you from getting more homeowner appointments? I hear you on that. I definitely also want more leads too. A lot of our clients struggle with that. What's been stopping you? Okay. So the problem, the roadblock. So now we're positioned to help solve that problem. Oh, just like unqualified people, tire kickers, totally makes sense. A lot of people we talk to are in the same spot before getting things dialed in. We're acknowledging their response. Send. Totally makes sense. A lot of people that we talk to are in the same spot before getting things going. I get that. It's tough to balance tire kickers versus qualified homeowners. Then we can either dive deeper on this and say something like, what have you tried in the past? What's been the main bottleneck? All that sort of stuff. If you feel like you need to get a better understanding of this person, because yeah, maybe I would ask something like, got it. If they're like, oh, I want more leads, got it. Or what's been the problem? Oh, I'm dealing with tire kickers all the time and I'm not getting qualified people. I hear that. A lot of people that we work with struggle with that. What have you tried so far to get new clients? And then they'd say something like, oh, we tried mailers, blah, 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 blah. I get that. Similar to our clients, they also started with that as well. Now, this kind of tees us up to present our new method on how we can get them what they want, because they explained that's what they want from like a goal perspective. So we would present our system as a natural solution. Got it. A lot of our clients also struggled with direct mail. I can see why that sucked for you. What's worked best for our clients is a system that we call Lead Accelerator, whatever, which fixes that exact issue. Want me to walk you through it? I actually help plumbers get more leads using our Lead Accelerator. Happy to show you how it works. You open for a quick chat this week. See how that naturally flows? Okay, we're not forcing anything. We're not having a full conversation in the DMs. We're just understanding their goals, the problems, and if there's an opportunity for us to actually solve those problems, if they're qualified or not. And the good thing about this system that I like is from a qualification perspective, I mean, you can look at their profile, you can ask how many leads they're getting per week, all that sort of stuff directly inside of the DMs, just getting the intel that's going to be helpful for you to actually qualify them. Maybe you would ask, how many leads are you trying to get every single week? Got it. How much money have you spent on ads already? Got it. So that's where you can kind of go through the problem phase and to make them more problem aware so that your new method / invite phase is there. Because in the problem phase, what we're trying to do is we're trying to rise up the problems so that our solution is a natural tendency or a natural conversation transition to actually get them on a call. If we're asking them, like, what's been their roadblock? A lot of people have been dealing with that. How many leads are you currently getting? Oh, wow, that's not enough. Okay, we're making them problem aware. And then we transition to the new invite. I can map out how exactly we'd fix your setup when I hop on a quick Zoom. Cool. And then if they agree, perfect, here's my calendar link. Insert the link that we already set up. Grab a time that works best for you. If they hesitate, no worries. I can send over a short video that explains it if that's easier, which would be if you have a VSL. Then inside of the appointment setter OS, where we would move these people to is agreed to a call. And these are the people that we're going to try to get on a call for sure. And then if they book, then we move them to booked, obviously. So let's just show you really quickly how we can build our own. Okay, so I'm just gonna use ChatGPT again, and then I'm gonna go to our offer breakdown because that's what we're using. I'm just gonna say the above is my principles and an example of an appointment setting workflow. Write it for me as if my offer is below. And maybe we'll make this more specific to home service businesses. So basically what I did is I just copied like the SOP essentially and like the examples that we have. And then I pasted our offer breakdown and I just said, the above are the principles and example of an appointment setting workflow. Write it for me as if my offer is below. I will be setting appointments in the DMs. Give me questions to ask at each phase as well as potential responses. Make it detailed as if they say that, I should say this, etc. Okay, let's see what this comes up with. I'm just gonna say make the answers more conversational, or I'm just gonna say make sure the you say has a question that leads them to the next part of the conversation. because these are kind of just like empty. I'm just gonna say now give me a full example of a conversation that could happen with someone as well that I could reference. So let's just go ahead and copy this. This is pretty solid, I think. Let's go to the appointment setter OS. We're going to go to the appointment setting workflow. Cool. And then I could even just like add an ad or add a card. I could paste this as well. So this is a little too long, too many questions. So I'll just paste both of these actually. Just because if I'm going to like start doing this on my own, this would be really helpful to reference. Obviously this depends on so many different factors, but this should set you up for success. This is a little bit long. Like I probably wouldn't spend this much time like asking this many questions, but maybe just so you can get context and like qualify them. Pretty cool. Sweet. So now when somebody responds, all we need to do is go to our appointment setting workflow and we could say something along the lines of, if we're like, what kind of business do you have? Then you just basically say, something in this situation, got it, like totally crushing it. I'd probably say something like, what's been working so far in bringing new jobs? Most of your referrals word of mouth. That's a great sign. People love your work, but referrals can be up and down, right? Do you ever have slow months where things drop off? I would say, do you have a current system in place to get new clients? No, I don't really. That's okay, cool. And then you empathize statement, and then ask the question. So these are some good examples. Obviously it's so just like dependent on like what they're saying. You could even like copy and paste this inside of ChatGPT and like conversate with it and be like, hey, if somebody said this, what should I say? And that could help you at that point. But in short, guys, that's the appointment setting workflow and how we can start having conversations that actually turn into appointments. So again, let's just go through this again. Hey, John, thanks for responding. What kind of business do you own? Oh, I own a plumbing business. Got it. That's freaking dope. We've been crushing with plumbers lately. How are you currently getting clients? I really like that question for the ad, for the lead gen offer specifically. Mostly referrals word of mouth. That's a great sign, means people love your work, but referrals can be up and down, right? Do you ever have slow months where things drop off? Totally. That's usually where we step in and get something predictable so you're not dependent on luck. Out of curiosity, have you tried any ads or other type of marketing before? And then this is a good example. Yeah, but I've worked with agencies that just didn't work out. I hear that all the time. A lot of people get burned by cookie cutter agencies. What was the issue last time? Bad leads, wrong targeting, or just no follow-up system? I'm not really sure. It just didn't work out. Then that's when we could transition to goal. Got it. What's the big goal for the year? Like you just want more clients, more qualified people. Yeah, I just want more steady work. Totally get that. Most home service owners say the same thing. Would you say it's more about wanting consistent leads or freeing up your time from always hunting them? Oh, I just want like more consistent leads. Got it. Like what's been the struggle with getting these consistent leads? Well, they're just not consistent. It makes a lot of sense. That's the number one thing that we fix. If you had a way to bring in new leads every week on autopilot, would that help stabilize your business? Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Got it. That's exactly what our social conversion system does. We help people like you get predictable leads weekly without relying on referrals or guessing or dealing with whatever they said, which is inconsistent leads. Would you be open to a 10-minute chat this week so I can walk you through it? Sure. How much does it cost? Good question. It really depends on your setup and goals. Great objection handling. I'm not sure if it's the right time. Totally fair. Timing matters. Usually we do a short strategy call so you can see what's possible. Tried ads before. Totally get that. Most of our clients said the same thing before switching systems. So this is pretty solid. But the most important thing for you guys that I want you to hear is we just need to follow the system. Like the more we can follow the system and have this set up before we launch the ads, which I'm literally doing on a call, and you could literally just do exactly what I did on a call, the more success that we'll be able to have. What we want to really aim for is like 20 to 30% lead to booking ratio. So if you get 10 leads today, there's no reason that you shouldn't be able to book 3 calls. So that's the ratio. That's the appointment setting workflow, how we can set this up so that we can actually set appointments inside of the DMs. All right, exciting times. We have our infrastructure dialed in. We have our ad created. We have our copy freaking on point. We have Leads OS. We have the Manychat automation set up so that when people actually start responding to leads, they're going to automatically get in there. We have the appointment setting workflow set up so that when somebody does respond, we're not going to freeze. We're not going to not know what to say. We're going to let our system be our willpower. We have calendar links. So when someone does say, yes, I want to book a call with you, you know exactly where to get the calendar link inside of the appointment OS. We have example conversations, which means we're ready to go. We're ready to launch this bad boy. So now we're going to go ahead and launch our ads. So inside of Canva, if you just click share, download. In this case, we're doing MP4. We don't want to download all pages because it'll just be like one video. So we're going to download each one individually. We just click done and it'll download MP4 video. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to make sure that our Instagram account is connected to our ads manager. Assume that's something that y'all can do. We're just going to go ahead and go to our ads manager. We're going to click on create an ad. We're going to go to engagement campaign. We're going to click on continue. Then we're going to go to manual engagement campaign and click on continue. So now what's going to pop open is our engagement or our campaign, our ad set, and then ads that we want to create. So basically the campaign is, maybe it's just, yeah, we could just call this like system campaign. Why not? Then in the engagement set, so here we basically just need to like leave it. Engagement campaign is an objective, or it's going to be engagement. I'm going to uncheck advantage campaign. I'm going to go through actually every single line item for this for you guys. A/B test off. Perfect. Then we're going to do the engagement ad set. So now what we're going to do is we are going to change this to system ad set. Totally fine. And then the conversion location is going to be message destinations. So we're going to do manual destination, and I'm just going to do it on Instagram. So we're going to try to just get people on Instagram. Then I'm going to scroll down. It's good. I'm going to hit on everything, maximize number of conversations, bid control. So we're going to do nothing there. Value rules, nothing there. Daily budget. So from an ad spend perspective, I would suggest spending about $30 a day. That would be the goal. So it'd be around like $1,000 a month, $33 a day, something along those lines. If you have more budget that you can play with, then I would suggest front loading the budget a little bit so you can get some wins early on, and that it all makes sense. And then you could taper it off later depending on testing and analytics. So let's just do $30 a day as an example right here. That'd be per day. Perfect. Not going to set an end date. Going to scroll down. Then we're going to go to audience controls. And what I like to do is I'm just going to switch to original. Again, something to play with. I mean, you can use Advantage Plus, which could help if you wanted to, but in this case, I'm just going to use original audiences because I'm just going to define these a little bit more. Okay. So obviously we're going to include people in San Diego, pretty big DMA. You can see our audience size is 2,700. And then since we're going to be targeting home service-based businesses, we want to keep this broad. Like I don't want to be like, oh, interest, home service-based business, blah, 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 blah. Because oftentimes the creative is going to do a lot of the effort for us. But let's just think, okay, service-based business owner, they're probably 30 to 60. And then if I had to assume a majority of them are going to be men. Gives us audience size of 684,000. I think that's totally fine. I'm not going to go into any advanced detail targeting like interest in blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Choose where your ad is displayed. So I'm going to click more options here. Placement controls. What is going on here? Manual placements. That's what we want to do. And then I'm going to remove Facebook because that's not relevant. And then, yeah, all these should be fine here. Maybe not that. Maybe not that. Instagram profile feed good, Instagram feed good, Instagram stories, Instagram reels, Instagram profile reels. Basically anywhere somebody would be able to see it and then DM us a specific keyword. Then I'm gonna click on next, and this is going to be the system ad SDB role. Let's call it that. So this is like the targeting, etc. And then this is where the ads are going to be. So that's kind of like the tree. So the ad set and then the ads underneath of the ad set, targeting that specific ad set. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down. We're going to click set up creative. We're going to do video ad. We're going to click on upload. And then we're going to pick the SDB roll one, which is this one. I'm going to let this load. Click on next and then done. So we are good here. And then for primary text, I'm just going to do DM me system to learn more, which will show up as like a caption. Call to action, send Instagram message. Perfect. All good in the hood. Then what we can do is start conversations. This is something that we could do as well. We can just click on edit template and we can just do, so when they click on the Instagram message button, this is what will pop up. And then we can save this as a template and click on save. So this will be a system template under our existing templates. And then all things look good. You can check out some ad previews, whatever. That's what it looks like. Send an Instagram message. Pretty straightforward. Cool. Nothing on the tracking that we need to do. Now, if we wanted to duplicate, I could just do a quick duplicate. And then I could go ahead and just change the creative. Click here, add video, add, upload. What's the other one I want to test? Let's test this one. Next, and then we can call this one camera B-roll. So now when we launch them, we'll be able to see which ad is working better because we'll be able to easily see if it's labeled camera B-roll or SD B-roll. Then all we need to do is click on preview to publish and we're pretty much good to go. So again, pretty simple setup. Just make sure everything is connected dialed in, and yeah, we should be good to go. Like it's pretty straightforward. Keep the audience broad, keep the audience as many as possible, and this should be your first stab at running this, and then testing, improving going forward can be audience placements, getting more specific, testing the creative and much more. But I would say what we're seeing right now at the time of this video is testing creatives and broadening, keeping the audience as broad as possible does seem to be the best thing that works for us. So then we sit back, press launch. This will take a couple of hours or so to launch. You'll get a notification once it's live and you should be ready to rock. So that's the simple way on how to launch this bad boy. Hey, quick pause. If you're watching this and you're thinking to yourself, this sounds great, but will this actually work for my business? I can totally understand how you may be feeling a little bit skeptical. One of our agency members felt the exact same way. He was hesitant to even share his results at first because he wanted to be sure it was directly from implementing our system. He had been through a lot of different coaching programs who promised the same things. But after joining Agency and following our coaching, here's what happened. He closed a $12,000 deal and a $36,000 deal with just under $2,000 in ad spend. That's around 24x the return on his investment. So if you're also skeptical but curious what this could do for your business, then book a call down below with our team. We'll review your specific situation and see if Agency U might be a right fit to help you achieve similar results. Look, the system works when implemented correctly with the right guidance. So why not find out if this could be a good path to take for you to see similar results? So click below to book your call. No pressure, just clarity on your next steps. All right, exciting times. Our ads have been launched. Now what you should expect in the next couple of hours is the ads to actually go live and people to start seeing them. I would encourage you guys just to be patient. You're not gonna get a bazillion leads today. Yeah, so just hang in there. But what I really want to hit on in this video is tracking. Like I said, design beats willpower. If we're not tracking anything, we don't know. We need a source of truth. What I used to do is I would run ads and I'd be like, oh, this isn't working, and then I'd turn them off because I'd freak out because I'm spending money. But they don't realize that if we can spend money and earn money, that's the way to do it. But what we need to do is we need to track our leads so that we can see how everything is actually going. So what we're going to go through today is just Authority Funnel OS and how to track. And this is how you can make sure that you're not relying on gut, but you're relying on facts. You're relying on data. So let's get into it. We also want to make sure that we're profitable. So let's go back to our OS. We're going to go to Authority Funnel OS. So basically what we'll see here and what we can do is we can quickly go here. We can add in B-roll SD ad. Then we can do, this is a B-roll ad. And then what we could do is we could link like the post to it, et cetera, et cetera. We could upload it here. Sweet. And then we can just literally upload it into our Notion. But what's going to be super, super important is filling out our AF reporting board internal. So this is something that we need to do every single day, like 1000%. What we want to do every day, what I like to do is if I started running my ads today, I'm going to start doing this tomorrow. So, and I'm going to do the data for the past day so that we can go through all of the spend. Okay, so let's just say today we spent $30 and let's just say we got 3 opt-ins. So what's going to happen is we can go to our leads. So this links with our leads operating system. So that way when I'm uploading this, I can just quickly go to my leads OS that's going to be automated and I can just quickly see how many leads that we've gotten. Let's just say yesterday we got 3 leads and 1 of them were quality. So now what we'd be able to see is we'd be able to see how much ad spend, which would come from your ads manager, which I would pull from your ads manager. So make sure you have that up. How many opt-ins you got, which you should just look at your leads OS board, which is linked here, or you could just go to your appointment setting OS or leads OS appointment setting OS right here. And you could see leads by day and just quickly reference that. And then what we want to do is we want to go back. So this will be the quickest way to do it though. Then we can see our cost per opt-in is $10. We can see our cost per quality opt-in is $30. Then let's just see how many calls booked from Instagram. So let's just say we booked 1 call. So now we can see what's our lead to booking ratio, which is 33.33%, which is on par, which we're going to talk about KPIs and metrics a little bit later. And we can see our cost per call booked. All very, very, very important metrics that we need to keep track of. Then call scheduled. So if you have calls scheduled from the ads, like this will take some time to get going. Let's just say we booked some calls last week and we had 1 call scheduled. 1 of them showed and we got a client from it and they paid $2,000 up front and $5,000 total. Cool. Cost per new client would be $30 because we're going to average them out right there. So let me just add a couple of more here. I'm just going to duplicate these and just change some dates here just for the sake of data. If you're doing this on weekends, it'll also be important to update this as well. Let me put some zeros in here just so you can see. Cool. Like if you're spending $30, you're probably not going to have a lot of sales from the jump. Okay, cool. Perfect. This looks good. Just for the sake of data, just do a couple more of those. And then let me change these dates here so we can get some data for October, just because that's the month we're in. Cool. So we just need to do this every single day. And then what we'll be able to see down below is this month's ad spend. So we can see this month we spent $270. We've gotten 26 total opt-ins, which is coming from counting this. Our cost per opt-in is $11. Our average cost per opt-in this month is $11. Quality leads is 8. Our average cost per quality opt-in is $30. Calls booked, we booked 8. $30 cost per book call. That'd be crazy, guys, if you guys did that, which I believe in you. You can do that. 2 clients, $30 average cost per new client, $4,000 cash collected, $10,000 new revenue total. Okay, and what this will start to tell us is data, so we can see our full picture, so that we can make decisions based off of data, what we're looking at here. So if we don't do this, then we're going to basically risk not knowing what's actually happening inside of our business. So we need to make this a daily discipline. Again, if today is the 15th, I'm gonna look at data from the 14th and then add that in here. And if we're using the Leads OS, then we should be able to see everything here. If we're using the Sales OS, we should see everything there on the booked calls kind of arena. So super, super important. Then we can make decisions based off of what data. One day doesn't determine the month. One day doesn't determine it. We've had people spend $1,000 and then on the $990th that they spent, they got a freaking deal that was worth $10,000. So is that worth it to you? Okay, we got to be patient. We got to track. We got to innovate based off of it. And then what we'll do is we'll just kind of walk through what to look for from the perspective of making adjustments and whatnot. So again, under authority funnel data, which you can always change the names of these, we'll be able to see just like a snapshot of how everything's actually working. But it's all sourced from the data entry. Okay, so maybe you just hire a VA. If you have a VA that can do this for you, that would be a great use of their time to do this under Authority Funnel OS. Main thing is this: call scheduled on that day, call showed. So it's basically 2 sources, the leads and then call scheduled. And the more that we keep this up to date, the more we will not be going off of gut, the more we will not be guessing on what's actually working, and the more that we can actually make decisions based off of data. We need the feedback loop. That's how we scale. We scale based off of data. We scale based off of dashboards so that we can see what's actually working. So super important. I want to make a video specifically on this because if we don't do this, then you're going to be stuck, guys. Okay, now that we have the ads launched, we're tracking everything. What the heck do I even look for? How do I make sure that this is even working? How do I not go into panic and pause everything? How do I actually optimize this sort of stuff? Let's take a look at this, okay? What a lot of people do is, they launch ads, but they do it blindly. Like they don't realize that this is a learning system, okay? This takes time. I would not touch anything for at least 2 weeks. And unless you're spending 100, 200, 300, 400, a lot more money every single day. But if you're spending around $30 a day, we need data to make optimizations. And I mean, Facebook has gotten so freaking good at honing in on the audience that the first 2 weeks is going to be the learning phase. So what we want to do is data collection. We don't want to make any judgments on the first 2 days, on the first day. We want to wait at least 2 weeks. There's been so many cases of people that I've talked to who are like feeling anxious because they haven't gotten quality leads the first week. And then all of a sudden come week 2, come week 3, they start getting qualified leads because it is acquiring data and it's optimizing for your ideal customer. So hang in there. It is about getting that learning phase through so that we can then have data where we can make proper adjustments. That's the key thing that I want to communicate, one. And then secondly, we don't want to pause anything. Yep, I just made that clear. Like, again, I've had many people spend $1,000 before they've gotten their first potential client or actual client. We need to realize if you spend $30, we can't expect to get $1,000 back from the jump. So that has happened before multiple times, but I just want to set expectations with you when we launch this, that this isn't going to be an overnight thing. How do I know after we've gone through this learning phase what adjustments that I need to actually make? Well, let's go through that. Let's just say your cost per message is more than $30. So if we go to our Authority Funnel OS and we go to our cost per opt-in is more than $30. Well, a couple of things. If you are getting messages from the ads and they're more than $30, then we want to fix ads. Okay, that's option number 1, or that is the option that I would suggest doing. Targeting, I would make it wider, reducing interest, remove anything from like a targeting perspective that you have in there, make the age range larger so we have more people that we can potentially get in front of. Copy, let's audit our copy. Let's audit our call out. Let's change our creative. Let's change the pain points. Let's change the desires. Let's add in some case studies. Let's change the offer. Let's make it more polarizing, more banger. That's something that we can also test as well. And then the creative, like higher pattern or up, which is gonna be like the call out. It's gonna be one of these things that we need to identify, test, and figure out what is working versus what is not working. And I showed you how you can test multiple ads. Maybe you create different copy for one ad, and then maybe you have a different offer for one of the ads. Maybe you have a different audience call out. Maybe you have different targeting for a specific ad set. That's going to be the issue there after 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the ad spend. Let's say you have bad quality leads. If you're getting bad leads, but less than 20% of them are a fit. So how we can see that is here, is we can see our quality percentage. So if this is less than 20% consistently on our quality percentage, then the issue is going to be what? We need to make sure our targeting expansion is off on the ads manager. We want to make sure that we have clear audience call out and copy. So like specifically, if you're getting bad quality leads, and it's likely from like this perspective, you're just like business owners, where you can be more specific. You could say business owners doing more than $50,000 a month, business owners doing more than $100,000 a month, business owners in San Diego doing XYZ, being more specific of who's going to reach out to or who the ad is going to speak to. Okay, so those are the things that I would optimize or look at and change, not turn off and say this doesn't work. Leads not booking. Okay, if you're getting messages, but you're not booking calls, it's either one, your response rate sucks, or your DMs are not good. So we need to evaluate our appointment setting workflow. Are we responding within 5 minutes? Are we making a conceded effort? Are we following the script that we created? Okay, if not, then that's what the issue is. These aren't showing up on calls. This is going to be a pre-call sequence, potentially creating a VSL, manually confirming the call inside of the DMs, et cetera, et cetera. And then if leads aren't closing at least 20%, then we need to review our sales framework. It's a sales issue, which again, this isn't a sales-driven conversation, but if your leads aren't closing, it's not the ads, it's you. It's your sales framework, which maybe we'll create a future course on that. So as we're launching these ads, as we're getting going on these ads, don't be discouraged. Just go at it with the mindset of adjusting, testing, because if we can refine things, if we can find winners, it's only going to take one client for this all to make sense and make a lot of sense. And then we can scale up from there. But these are the levers that we need to pull in order to build from there and pull all of the right levers until we have that full circle campaign that's actually going to build success. So again, please don't freak out after 24 hours of not getting a lead. We want to take our time on this so that we can make adjustments and pull the appropriate levers that actually make the most sense to pull. Hey, you made it to the end of the course, which is awesome, but listen closely because what I'm about to share could be the difference between another year of feast or famine client flow or finally building a predictable and scalable business that you've been dreaming of right now. You're standing at a crossroads. Path number one, you take what you've learned in this video, try to piece it together yourself, spend potentially months testing, tweaking, burn through some ad spend, figuring out, and maybe eventually get it working, which would be a good thing at the end of the tunnel, right? Path number two, though, you let me and my team shortcut the entire process for you by implementing this client getting system directly into your business. And let me be crystal clear about something. This isn't just about getting a few more clients. This is about transforming your entire business from a stress-inducing, unpredictable hustle into a systematic money-making machine. Dimitri implemented just one piece of our system and generated $30,000 in monthly revenue from one single ad. He secured over $100,000 in contracts while just spending $2,500 on ads. That's a 40x return. And he's not some unicorn or outlier. Cameron closed $166,000 in retainer deals and $93,000 in one-off video projects in just a few months using a similar campaign. And Santiago generated $91,000 in a single week across 5 different clients by implementing this approach. Look, these results aren't accidents and they're not lucky breaks. They're the predictable outcome of implementing a proven system. Look, here is the brutal truth. Most agency owners and coaches are leaving 50 to 70% of their potential revenue on the table because they don't have a systematic approach to getting clients. They're relying on referrals that may or may not come, cold DMs that just get ignored, content that gets likes but no leads, ads that burn money with no return. And even if they do get a lead, they don't know how to position their offer to command premium rates. They don't know how to close deals without sounding pushy or desperate on the call. They don't know how to deliver results that keep clients coming back. And it is a complete mess. And it's costing you thousands every single month. But here's the good news, guys. It does not have to be this way. The client getting system isn't just about lead generation. It's the complete solution for transforming your agency and coaching business. Look, when you book a strategy call with us down below, here's what happens. We will audit your current offer and show you exactly how to make an irresistible offer to your ideal clients. 2, we'll diagnose your client acquisition approach and identify the specific bottlenecks holding you back in getting new clients. 3, we'll create a customized implementation plan tailored specifically for your business. 4, if you're a fit, we'll show you how we can help you implement this entire system with our direct support. And if you're not a fit, we'll tell you that too, and you'll still walk away with valuable insight that you can implement on your own at no risk. Look, there's 0 risk to booking this call, but there's more to this than just getting leads and figuring out how to get leads and set appointments inside the DMs. Getting leads is just the first piece of the puzzle. What about optimizing your ads for maximum performance? What about how to test different variations to find out what actually works? What about setting up retargeting ads? What about refining your appointment setting process? What about closing deals in the sales call flow? What about delivering results for your clients from a fulfillment perspective so they actually stay with you and refer other people? This is where most people get stuck. They might get the initial system set up, but then they struggle with the optimization, the scaling, the execution, the fulfillment, the hiring, the systems, etc., etc. Okay. This is why we provide comprehensive support that actually gets results. This means we do one-on-one coaching calls to address your specific challenges. We have AI agents that help automate and optimize your campaigns. We do done-for-you ad optimization and testing. We have appointment setting assistance so that you can actually maximize your conversions. We have sales scripts for you that you can use to close deals consistently. We have delivery systems so that your clients are actually satisfied and actually will stay with you, and so much more. Look, we don't just help you get clients. We help you become a true CEO who works on the business, not in the business. Look, I can hear your objections forming in your mind right now, and let me address these head on. 1, if you are thinking, I just don't have time for this right now. Really? Well, how much time are you currently wasting on ineffective client acquisition strategies? Michael Evans implemented our system and saved 2 hours per client in onboarding time alone. Look, this isn't about finding more time. It's about reclaiming the time that you're currently throwing away and frankly wasting. Will this work for my specific business? Well, we've helped over 500 coaches and agencies across dozens of different niches implement this system successfully. The system works across different industries because the fundamental principles of client acquisition remains the same. Do you do one-on-one calls? Yes. In fact, that's how you actually get results, not just by watching course videos. You just watched one. Our entire approach is built around personalized guidance and implementation support. This is exactly how we're able to get a client, Juliana, from $1,700 a month to over $15,000 a month in just 4 weeks with direct one-on-one support. How much does this cost? Well, we have a few different options based on your specific needs and goals, which we can discuss on a call to even determine if you're actually a good fit. But here's what I can tell you up front. Our average client sees an ROI of 3.2, which means for every dollar that they invest working with us, they make $3.20 back. And when you look at it that way, the question isn't, can I afford to do this? The question is, can I afford not to do this? It's a no-brainer investment when you consider the return that we are getting for clients. Look, every day you delay implementing the system, it costs you real money. Let's do some quick math. If you're currently bringing in 2 clients per month at $3,000 each, that's $6,000 a month. Our clients typically double their client acquisition within 60 days. That means you're potentially leaving $6,000, if not more, on the table by not implementing this system. Over a year, that's over $72,000 in lost revenue. And that doesn't even account for the stress, the anxiety, the time you spend trying to figure it out yourself, and the opportunity cost of staying stuck in feast or famine. Can you really afford to wait for something like this? Look, when you click the link down below to book a call with our team, you will be able to find a time that works best for you. And before the call, we'll send you a brief questionnaire so that we can understand your business better, which ensures we can actually hit the ground running and make the most out of our time together on that specific call. Then on the call, what we're going to do is we're going to audit your offer. We're going to learn about your business. We're going to diagnose your current client acquisition approach and determine if we're even a good fit to work together. And if we are a good fit, we can discuss the next steps of implementing the client getting system in your business with our direct support. And if we're not a fit, we'll be honest with you and we'll provide you with specific suggestions and maybe some more resources on how you can implement this better on your own. Either way, you win. And I also want to be upfront about something. We don't work with everyone. Why? Well, because we wouldn't be able to help people get real results if we just accepted everyone inside of our program. Our track record matters to us, and we're committed to maintaining a super high standard that's helped over 500 coaches and agencies generate more than $7 million in revenue. And we also spend a lot of time with people, so it doesn't make sense for us to spend a lot of time on people that just aren't a fit. And look, our current clients give us an 8.5 NPS score, which is higher than Apple, by the way, because we give real attention attention to our clients and ensure they are set up for success. We're not interested in just signing up as many people as possible. We're interested in working with the right people who we can genuinely help achieve crazy results. So if we don't think we can help you achieve a similar result, we'll tell you that. And we'll still provide you valuable suggestions that you can implement on your own and hopefully come back. That's the benefit of booking your strategy and implementation call with us. You literally win either way. Look, guys, while you're considering this, imagine waking up 30 days from now and seeing 5 new qualified leads in your inbox every single day. Imagine knowing exactly how many new clients you'll sign every single month. Imagine having the confidence to hire and scale your team based off of predictable revenue. Imagine focusing on delivering great work instead of constantly chasing new business. Imagine truly stepping into the CEO role, working on your business all of the time instead of working in it. That's not a fantasy. That's what our clients experience after implementing the client getting system inside of Agency U in everything that we have to offer. But it only happens if you take action. So here's the decision in front of you right now. You can close this page, try to piece together what you've learned, watch everything that I just taught you back and back, and eventually maybe figure it out on your own. Or you can book the implementation call with our team and potentially shortcut the entire process. Again, we'll audit your offer, we'll provide specific suggestions, and if you're a fit, help you implement this proven client acquisition system directly inside of your business. So the choice is yours, but remember this, a year from now, you'll wish you had started today. Do not let another day go by wondering where your next client is gonna come from. Don't spend another week stressing about cash flow and unpredictable revenue. Don't waste another month trying to figure this out on your own when the solution is literally right in front of you. So click the link below and book your call now. It's time to transform your agency from constant hustle to actual growth. It's time to become the CEO you were meant to be. Your future clients are waiting, and your future self as a true CEO is waiting for you.